I'm a firm believer that if you come to an organization and you want to, win a championship here, um, you do it, you know. Um, and I feel like Melo was just in it for the money. I don't think he really wanted to bring a championship here because he knew he could, you know. Um, I mean, you look at Denver, when he went to Denver. Now, obviously, a lot of people want to say he got snubbed Rookie of the Year. Like, how many times do they hand out Rookie of the Year? A lot, right? Well, not really a lot, a few. Um, so, if you go back and look at the Knicks, right, he had talent around him. Melo had talent around him. I know a lot of people who didn't play sports are going to say, well, the Knicks didn't fail him, or the Knicks failed him. The Knicks failed because he had Stoudemire, he had Tyson Chandler, he had Steve Novak, he had Jason Kidd, he had J.R. Smith. Like, he had talent around him. The thing is with Melo is I believe that he never really wanted to win a championship when he got into the NBA. Because you have to learn where Melo came from. Melo came from nothing, and once you put a person in that position, the level of fame gets to you. That's why you see players like Harden, Westbrook, Damian Leonard. Like, do you think they care if they ever win a championship? No, because they all came from the same struggle. As talented as they are, they all came from the same struggle. So they was just looking for a way out, you know. Now that they have everything secure, they don't really care because they know they first got it Hall of Famers. If the NBA Hall of Famers a joke. They putting freaking Blake Griffin in there. Like, what the heck, Blake Griffin? Anyway, okay, so you fast forward, 2014, and then after that, the Knicks were solid for the first 2 years. From 2011, 12, 13, 14, that's when they were, kind of in it, you know. They was going up against Derrick Rose. They was going up against Brooklyn, who they actually had very good pieces. The Celtics, the Heat. They was just going up against juggernauts, you know. And maybe they just didn't have enough to get over the hump. They did, beat the Celtics, but the Celtics was washed at the time. Everybody was old, you know. I think the only person that they didn't move was Rondo, but they obviously did move him later on, like a few years prior. But, Melo was just in it for the money, man. He never really cared about winning a championship here in New York, where he's from. Actually, he went to Baltimore for like a few years, and then after that, you know, like Stoudemire. I believe if the Knicks didn't make that move, I mean, it's hard to tell. It is, but then again, if you see it 2020 vision, the Knicks should have just built around Stoudemire. Stoudemire was always, well, not always, but he was in conversations of MVP. It was between him, Derrick Rose, and LeBron James at the time. I think he was third. LeBron was first. Derrick Rose was, I think he was Stoudemire, um, LeBron, and Derrick Rose. So, um, yeah, man, it just felt like, you know, Melo was just, something was off, you know. I mean, yeah, he got out the first round one time. Um, took Miami to 5 games. Um, couldn't get past the Pacers. So I tell you, you put Jokic right now on that Knicks team. You can't tell me that they can't win a championship because Jokic understood how to play basketball. He knew the ins and outs. He knew the fundamentals. He had it. Look at that. He went on to win a damn championship, something that Melo couldn't do in Denver for 50 years. And then Melo had the audacity to say, oh, they should have retired my number. Like, dude, like, you're not the first and you're not the last person wearing number 15. Randolph wore number 15 before you did. Like, what are we talking about? You know? But, a lot of people in the chat or in the comments saying how the Knicks failed Melo. The Knicks did not fail Melo. The Knicks actually pandered to Melo's request. You want this? Okay. You want that? Okay. He did not deliver. Go back and watch those playoff games. Yeah, he kept us in those games, but at the same time, that team was just better. Like, I remember he was trying to go for the dunk, and Roy Hibbert just met him at the rim, and then Stoudemire, his hand with the fire extinguisher, and it, that team just collapsed bad. So I say this. Melo's a great player. Melo's a great offensive player, but he's not a Hall of Fame. I mean, you have to have some type of hardware or something. We can't keep on giving these Hall of Famers spots where it's not deserved. Like the Dwight Howard, at least he had, one championship. Anthony Davis, one championship. Now you could say, well, Allen Iverson's in the Hall of Fame. He don't have no championship. and at least we got there. There's a difference. You know, like I don't care if you win or lose. Getting there is the hardest part. Because you don't know if next year things might not go your way. You know what I'm saying? So I just say this that Melo had a great career and he bounced around too much. And then when he's no longer needed, a lot of people want to again say, oh, he was blackballed, and people like, no, the game ran away from him. The game was shifting. He couldn't defend, he couldn't score. It was just, you know, he just wasn't. He just wasn't the same player, or not even the same player. He just didn't have it. You know, he lacked what Kobe and MJ had, and Tim Duncan. So let me know what y'all think. Why Melo never won the championship, or was never in discussion for MVP? At least Dwayne Wade won MVP. Kobe won MVP. LeBron won MVP. Which obviously MVPs are easy to win now these days, but Melo never won MVP. Melo never won NBA Finals. It was always second round exit, either in the West or the East. It does not matter. He tried to link up with OKC when they had Paul George and Russell Westbrook. That was a failure. So Melo's career was a joke. And as a Knicks fan, it hurts to say that, but it's true. People need to wake up and smell the coffee sometimes and don't just look at the talent. Look at the body of work.